Hey, it's Heidi. Welcome back for another video. If you're in a relationship with an addict or an alcoholic, and let's say they get some treatment, they get some help, and they look like they're on the right track, and maybe you're just now coming to this brand new. Maybe this is the first time you're dealing with something like this in your life, or maybe it's not your first rodeo at all, and the person that you love has been in and out of treatment, and you're wondering, when's the relapse going to come, right? You could be at any different point on this journey, but maybe you're wondering this one question. And the question is, can this relationship still work? If my loved one, the person that I love, gets help and they're in recovery, we're going to be all right? We're going to be able to fix this relationship? We're going to be able to forget the past or at least move on from it? And can we be happy? And if you're wondering any of these things, you are definitely in the right place because I'm going to answer these questions for you today. I'm Heidi, by the way. I'm a relationship expert. I just so happen to focus on hard relationships that are dysfunctional or unhealthy in some way. And there's really not a relationship that is more dysfunctional than a relationship with an addict or an alcoholic, right? Or any other personality disorder, right? Narcissism and things like that. And so you're in the right place because I'm going to give you some tips and tools and strategies today that I've given over the last decade that I've been doing this work. Of course, I'm going to give you some insight today, but your situation is complex. There's multiple things happening. There could be children involved. There could be lots of other things going on here. And if you have a unique situation that you want more help in, always go on over to lovecoachheidi.com, schedule a complimentary consultation, fill out the little questionnaire, and you and I can schedule some private time where we can talk about. Also, I want to make sure to tell you, if you're getting value out of these videos, and I know you are because you're messaging me and you're telling me that, there's a B in here, okay, you're messaging me and you're telling me that, then subscribe. Consider subscribing and liking the video so that we can help more people and get the word out, okay? All right, so let's get into it. So here's the first thing. I'm just going to tell it to you like it is. I believe like being real and saying it in terms that everybody can kind of understand, all right? The first thing that you need to decide is if you like roller coasters. And here's what I mean by that. If you're thinking, you're either a roller coaster person or you're not a roller coaster person. All right, you either like stability and predictability or you don't mind functioning in chaos and uncertainty. And you really have to know what kind of person you are. Here's the truth. If you are going to be in a relationship with an addict or an alcoholic, it's likely going to be a ride. All right. It's not like a once and done. A lot of people, hey, look, sometimes people get into treatment, they go one time, they're successful, it's a miracle. But most people are like a combination lock. They might take multiple treatments, and every time they go in, it's valuable because they get a little lock, a little number on their combination lock, and the next time they go in, they get another little lock, and then finally it breaks free, right? They get all the numbers click, and everything takes its place, and they get better. But they don't get better just because they went into treatment. They get better because they are working a recovery program. And if somebody relapses, it's not because something bad happens in their life, somebody dies, it's not because they get a divorce, there's threatening divorce, it's not because the children are not okay, it's not because of any of that. It's because when people get divorced or something bad happens or people die, people aren't working on their recovery when those things happen. So likely you've been kind of walking on eggshells. And look, there are so many videos here. Subscribe so that you make sure that you have access to all these different trainings and teachings. But here's the deal. Are you okay with a ride? Because if you're going to say to somebody, honey, I love you as long as you are sober, I'm willing to be in this relationship. But if you're not going to be sober and you relapse, I'm out. That's something for you to consider because likely there will be relapse at some point in this dynamic. I mean, I hate to sound negative, but I just really want you to understand that combination lock analogy. And so if you can learn how to ride the roller coaster safely, you know how to harness yourself in, you know how to buckle up and ride the ride, you can manage. It's not going to be fun, right? I'm not saying it's enjoyable to get on the roller coaster of addiction, but I'm saying that you can be protected and prepared and safe while you're on the ride and not get thrown out, right? Not kill yourself in the process, okay? But you have to be really clear with yourself. And I have to tell you this too. Look, there's nothing wrong with saying you're not a roller coaster person. The problem is that we try to be roller coaster people when really we want stability and security in our lives, and we're with people that just can't give it. And then we feel like locked in. We feel guilty for wanting something different or to be able to communicate that. And I have to tell you, love, it is okay to want something different. Not everybody is cut out for the roller coaster ride. All right. So you don't have to turn yourself into somebody that you're not. Now, if it's your children, this is what this video is for. A lot of times those parents have to decide if they're going to be roller coaster people or not too. But for them, they feel a little more like, I have no choice. Well, here's the truth. We always have choices how we participate in these relationships, no matter what kind of relationships they are, even if children are involved. It's really up to you to decide if this is going to be okay for you for the long haul. If they relapse, if they have challenges continually throughout your life, are you going to be okay with that? All right. Let's say that you are. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's say, yes, Heidi, I can ride roller coasters. I can be a roller coaster person. Can you forget or forgive or move on from the past? And forgetting and forgiving and all that is just kind of nonsense, really. I mean, we can't really forgive, right? That's why we pray, leave it to the Lord, because we don't really know how to do it. We're like, Lord knows you can forgive them because I can't. Because let's be real, a lot of damage has been caused, right? A lot of things, a lot of destruction has been left in the wake of addiction. It is a terrible thing. It wreaks havoc on the entire family. So maybe you're not going to forget, maybe you're not going to even forgive at this point, but what you are going to do is make sense of it and understand it. And when you have a firm understanding of addiction, you're able to stop taking it personally and start putting things into perspective. And that's what I do with these videos, is help you really understand addiction. In fact, I can try and link the video if I get even better at this. There's a video called How Addiction Happens in Good Families, and it explains what addiction really is. And that's a great video for you to watch next, right after this one. Right? I do know you binge watch sometimes, okay? And I'll try to link them better for you. Here's the thing. Let's pretend that the analogy I'm going to give you about living in the past is a hurricane analogy. And let's say a hurricane comes and I do everything I need to do to batten down the hatches, right? And I protect myself, and I put the shutters on the windows. You know, my husband, God bless him, we live in Florida, and every season he's out there doing the hurricane prep. We go to Costco with the other jerks and get all the water and the toilet paper. P.S. Okay, I mean, all that stuff, right? We do all the things, and then the hurricane comes, and then I have a couple of choices after the hurricane. You know, while the hurricane's happening, I stay safe and protected, and that's what I really want to help you learn to do, is to learn how to batten down your proverbial hatches, because you live in a hurricane. You live with a hurricane. Do you know how to batten down your hatches? You need to learn how to do that. You need to learn how to psychologically, emotionally, and financially prepare when the stuff hits the fan in your household, so that you don't get your roof ripped off, and you don't get a flood in your house, and you don't lose everything, all right? And you don't lose your sanity and your peace, and the whole family go with it. You can weather that storm, believe it or not, and I can teach you how to do it. So you batten down your hatches and you weather the storm, and you learn how to do that with your boundaries, and then what happens? The hurricane comes and you're okay. You're okay. You know how to manage it. You know how to be in it. And then it passes. Now I have two choices. I can come out after the hurricane and be scared to death, living in the history of the hurricane, remembering the damage that was done or that could have been done. Or maybe it did get my backyard and it ripped everything up, and all the hard work and everything I'd planted in there got ripped up, and maybe it ruined more things that were expensive, and maybe a tree fell on my car even and it ruined it. And I could go out there and say, God, look at this car, and live in the past of that and be angry and resentful about it and stay in that. Or I could realize the storm has passed, the sun is out, and it's time. It's a new day. And that is addiction. There is damage in the wake. A tree did fall on the car. They did do the thing. They took the money out of the bank account. The children, you're not dealing with children in this video, but they do damage too. The husband spent the money, lost the job, did whatever. You're carrying the whole house. Whatever that it is. Almost got fired from his corporate position. Holy shit, and you're panicked. Okay. When the sun comes out and they're in recovery, can you be in the present moment with them, or are you living in the past? And then when somebody says, hey, thank God we got a new car, are you tempted to go, yeah, but look at the shit you did to the last car. Look at the damage that you did to the last car, right? When we're having a nice family dinner and we're all together and loved ones in recovery and we're sitting around and it's Christmas morning and we're enjoying our food, and the husband goes or the wife goes, look at this Christmas, isn't it amazing? You go, yeah, last Christmas was a shit show. Are you living in the past or in the present moment? Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be angry. Of course you're angry. Of course you're angry. But the person who caused the pain cannot heal your pain. You have to go outside of that relationship to be well and healthy. And that's what coaching is for. That's what this relationship is for, is to process those feelings. They don't just go away. That thing did fall on your car. That thing did happen. And so you need to be able to have a safe place to be able to communicate and strategize and figure out what's next. How to be in the present moment is actually a skill that we need to learn to master, okay? And then the last thing you need to do, I wrote it down, okay? The last thing we need to do is, I don't want to miss anything, is after we understand if we like roller coasters, then we learn how to live in the, batten down the hatches in the hurricane with boundaries, then we have to have a plan in place. If it is a hurricane, and if it is a roller coaster ride, what are you going to do in the relationship if there is a relapse? What is plan A? For your loved one, by the way, is, oh, thank God that's over. I don't even want to drink anymore. I don't even want to use drugs anymore, take those pills anymore. Oh, thank God, honey, I'm so much better now. Thank God you've forgiven me. Thank God we can move on. So they just think they're done. But if they're saying that, likely there will be a time in this person's life where they want to drink so bad or do drugs so bad, they're crawling out of their skin at some point because the triggers happen, and that's life. All right, likely what they were doing was medicating the underlying issues, and we took away the medication. We took away the self-medication. So now they actually have, so there will be a time that it's going to get hard for them. Are they working a recovery program? What is the plan for the whole family? The family is like an immune system. So one person's sick, it infects the whole family. What's our family's immune system plan? What are we doing as a family to make sure that we're all protected and safe and prepared, okay, for what's to come? Now look, this is a very short video. What is this, 12-minute video? You're gonna get all the answers in 12 minutes. You're gonna get a lot of them, right? Because I know how to, I've been doing this for so long. I've taught this at one of the world's leading drug and alcohol treatment centers for 8 years. I actually created and ran the family program there with my husband. So I have a lot of experience in this. Hundreds of families have come through. And although you might feel like you're all alone and nobody gets it and nobody understands, I promise you I do. I promise you I do. I promise you I've heard it. I promise you I've helped it. And I promise you I can help you too. All right? So keep coming back to the videos. Make sure you're subscribed. And for the love of all that's holy, if you need help, go on and reach out. Go over to lovecoachheidi.com and schedule your complimentary consultation. Until the next video, subscribe. Come on over, send me a message. I love you so much. Oh, there's also a free support group that I run every Thursday. I'm live in over on Facebook called Families Dealing with Addiction. Go join that. Okay, it's private, secret. I know you don't want to talk about this. I know. You can't talk about it. Who are you going to talk about it to? Me, okay? I love you, and I'll see you really soon, okay? Take great care. Bye-bye.